Well, I have to start all over again. Good morning. This is the first time in a long time that I got gibberish from the previous broadcast that was started at 2:44, which was exactly 1 hour after I got out of bed. My feet hit the floor at 1:44 this morning, even though I didn't go to bed till almost 10:30 last night. And I'm being forced to do another video, and it will not be anything like the first one because they're all spontaneous. I don't have much of a script. Anyway, today's title is Law of Attraction and Divine Justice. More and more I am convinced that virtually everything we experience has to do with frequencies. There are higher, less dense frequencies, and those that are lower and more dense. What if those living in the low frequency of lies and deceit at a time when higher frequencies are readily available are operating in a self-destruct mode? Would that not be divine justice? I think a lot about justice, especially having to do with a lawsuit and observing the things in the world. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of justice. There seems to be much awareness about the injustice of our world. And a lot of that, most of that, has to do with the fraudulent financial system that is in place and that makes debt slaves out of virtually everyone on the world, on the planet, regardless of whether they're the manipulators or the manipulated. They're still debt slaves. Everything operates by debt. And this is a totally deceitful and fraudulent system where those that have been allowed to create money out of nothing and to create money out of other people's promises and other people's labor and creativity, those that have been able to implement this system have gotten away with it for a very long time. I believe it was the priests in Egypt 10,000 years ago that introduced money as a system of slavery, because the slaves didn't like being told what to do, so they thought, well, we'll pay them. That way, at least we're giving them something back and giving them the illusion that they're getting something, a benefit out of what they're doing for us. We're going to pay them for their labor, but we're still going to make all of the profit. All of it belongs to us. We'll just pay them a token to let them think that they're getting something and getting somewhere. Boy, I'm not on the same roll that I was in the earlier video. I really don't like it when that happens. I don't like it at all. Yes, I did want to comment. I did comment in the other one about I finally got my new beard and mustache trimmer yesterday, and I did trim my beard. For those of you that noticed that I have less hair on my face than I did the last few weeks. I do like to keep it trimmed, and my old trimmer broke about, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. Anyway, divine justice would have it, as I understand the law of attraction, that those that are operating at the low frequency that refuse to move, that refuse to take advantage of the gracious opportunity of the cosmos in downloading all this love and light onto the planet and focusing that love and light as it's never been focused before in our history. During this 9th wave, that's what's happening. But there are those that have benefited on both sides, believe it or not, on both sides of the equation, the manipulators and the manipulated, the victimizers and the victims. There are people that like playing those roles. They're really into it. And They don't want the higher frequencies, many of them. And Friday night, as we were discussing our vision of what's going to happen the remainder of 2011, several people said they see an upsurge in violence. They see a lot of unrest and people being murdered. And I do believe that some of those that are going to get murdered are the elite. Some of the bankers, some of the CEOs of multinational corporations, perhaps some high-up politicians, perhaps some people that have felt untouchable. They have the opportunity to step into the love and grace. They have the opportunity to tell the truth, but they've lived in lies for so long, and those that live in lies and don't want to give them up are going to die in the lies. They're going to have to go somewhere else because Earth's vibration is rising, and it will not sustain that which has been sustained for eons of time. And so divine justice will allow for the violence. Not that God or the divine ever chooses death, but with each of us in a free will zone, life and death are presented to us. And God would say, choose life, that you might experience the pleasures and the joys and the love and the satisfaction of life. But for many, many years we've been imprisoned in a debt enslavement system where we've not been able, many have not been able to enjoy life, and they have died seemingly at the hands of those that have run the system. But there is recompense coming. An opportunity of grace, but a promise that everything is changing. And that promise is going to be fulfilled in this ninth wave. I'm thoroughly convinced of it. And this is nothing like what I was talking about before. Same subject, but I'm saying things totally different that I didn't even think about before. And part of me is grieving because I said some good things and I can't even remember what they were, because it's totally in the moment. But this is life. You go with the flow. And there is, according to the law of attraction, like attracts like in the respective frequencies. As I said in yesterday's video, many of us have realized we have a knob that we can adjust our frequency higher and lower to experience the entire range. And we know that experiencing the lower vibrations isn't going to destroy us or anything like that. It's part of life. And it's okay, because it helps us with our range. It helps us with our wisdom. It helps us to know what's going on and what's happening. But those that refuse to allow the higher vibrations to take effect, they're not going to be forced. Spirit is never one that forces people into anything. It's a free will zone. But it's going to be a zone of freedom. Earth is not going to be under the domination of the dark, under the domination of ignorance. People are waking up. That automatically changes the whole game. Automatically changes everything. Wow. I'm drawing such blanks. I went 15 minutes on the earlier video, and I'm not remembering most of what I said. Not most of it. But I'm going to stop, because I don't have the flow. I don't have the energetic flow, and I apologize for that. And I don't know what made the gibberish happen. For those of you that have been listening for a long time, it happened back in March, maybe March or February. It happened a couple of different times. And actually a friend from India actually was able to pull one of the gibberish ones and recover the original gibberish message. But I'm not even going to put it up online. I'm not going to upload it. It'll just stay as a file. Anyway, know that there is divine justice and that the law of attraction will bring justice to bear, and those that have lived by the lie will die by the lie, or they'll allow themselves to shift and change. Namaste. Have a blessed day. Thank you.